Alright guys, the newest giveaway just went live a few hours ago, and the newest giveaway, as you guys all guessed, is none other than the 1017 wheel horsepower Subaru STI. A lot of you guys knew this was going to happen, and it's here. 2016 STI Hyper Blue. Fully built everything. Obviously it needs to be a fully built everything to make this much power on air ride. Advan GT wheels. Just had this thing professionally detailed today. This is the cleanest car I've ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely love the Hyper Blue interior. And of course the coolest part, look at under the hood of this beautiful STI. IAG motor, process West manifold, 76 millimeter precision, 76 millimeter turbo, titanium, everything. Just the engine alone for this car was $20,000. And this beautiful STI can be yours for as little as $3. First link down in the description box below. Let's get back to work on the new forward-facing Evo 8 project. I have one goal today. That goal is to drive the car. First order of business today is to install all of the plumbing for the turbo. It is a water-cooled turbo, unlike say a Precision where just oil runs to the turbo. So we have both coolant feed in return and oil feed in return lines to install. Alrighty, we have oil done, cooling done, wastegates are plumbed to the boost controller, ran some nice heat sheathing around everything that is near anything warm. As you can see down there, everything's covered up nicely. What do we need to get this thing to run? To just start, we need the wideband sensor for the Heltec, downpipe to go back on, intercooler pipe, and engine oil. Obviously we can't drive it like that, we still need a cooling system, but I just want to hear this thing run. Minus the plugs, this thing is all complete and ready for a first start. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and crank it over with the plugs out just to build oil pressure. And then as soon as we have oil pressure, I'll go ahead and put in the plugs and fire the thing up. We still have the same fuel system in it. Sure, the air might be a little bit different with a bigger turbo, but we'll be good for first start. Why do you slobber so much? Why do you slobber so much? I need to figure out what's going on with our gates. Our gates are open, obviously right now. They should be completely closed, but both gates are open. I plumbed them how English plumbed my Evo 10 years ago. A little bit different than I would personally do, but I figured I'd try it that way. I need to talk to the tuner and see how they want me to plumb these, because everyone always wants dual gates a little bit different. But I'm curious, the springs, if there's any springs in the gates. But she's alive. Other than that little issue, it should be good. So it's now the next day. Went ahead and replumbed the gates how the tuner wants the gates plumbed. Only to the side port, nothing to the top port. I just fired up the car and the gates are still open. So let's go ahead and see what springs are currently in the gates. Well, there's a problem. I'm used to gates coming with springs installed. As you can see, there are none. So as soon as you fire it up, this guy goes bop and lets all of the exhaust by. Wastegate issue is now resolved. Got like an 18-pound configuration in each gate. We're almost ready to take this thing out. Let's go ahead and get a cooling system on it. So we have a half rad and fan. And then I do still need to sort out the belt. Being that we went to the fluid damper, you do need a bigger, I don't know if it'd be a custom belt or what we need to do there, but let's get the radiator sorted first. I did not end up ordering the fan kit, which I needed, so we'll have to wait on that. Thankfully, it's wintertime still, so it's not going to be needed now. But with this Evo specific radiator, you can see they included a bracket that is for that hole right there. Instead of trying to fish a nut around the back side, I'm just going to go ahead and add in a riv nut in that hole so we can bolt right to the riv nut and not worry about fingering a nut on. Radiator is installed with not the right radiator hose. It requires an 8 or 9 hose, of course, with the Koyo radiator we had here. That's for, was that a 4 through 6 with the upper outlet right here? So it's straight. CSF puts it on the side like an 8 or 9. So I had to order a hose. There's none in stock anywhere locally. I made that work for the day just so we can go drive the car. Very last hurdle is trying to figure out the belt situation. So I have a total of 5 different belts, and the belt that ATI says that you need to use with their crank pulley, they don't even make. Gates doesn't even make that specific belt. So I got 5 different belts in varying lengths, and I will let you guys know exactly what belt you need if you're gonna do the ATI damper and wanna retain AC. This is the winner, K060721. It is a Master Pro belt, but if you're running AC in the ATI damper, that's the belt that you want. So curious to see how this new turbo sounds. Is it gonna be rowdy? Or is it gonna sound like nothing? Like nothing's ever there, like it's NA. Oh, what? It doesn't have a T51R mod. It's just an anti-surge housing. But it sounds straight T51R. Dude, imagine this thing under full boost. That is insane. I hope you guys can hear it fine. It's like a T51R sound, but it's almost higher pitched. It sounds absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Type RA STI. Rare. This setup completely, I hope you guys can hear me fine, it's kind of windy out, completely just like reignited my love and my love for the car. So much work went into it, and I want to be honest, before it was like kind of fun, but it wasn't really all that rewarding. It didn't have all the cool sounds and just everything that this new setup has, man. Turbo chilling right there in the grill, sounds absolutely insane. I know it's gonna make as much power as I could ever want. Honestly, we could make 900 wheel, but I don't really care to make that much power. I'll probably cap her at 817. Let's call 817 a good number. Man, this thing turned out so sick, dude. Couple little things to finish, like I was talking about earlier. The fan, the upper radiator hose. Obviously, we need to get the car tuned. It's going on drive-by-wire and new fuel system before we get it tuned. Fuel system-wise, we're going from the FIC 1650s all the way up to a set of 2150s from one Walbro 450 to 2, and then of course dash 6 and dash 8 feed and return, and that should be all the fuel that we need for this beautiful car. And then we're gonna get it tuned, and it'll be done. Officially done. I'll probably never touch it again because it will be absolutely perfect by that time. I don't know if you guys remember how loud and clanky the old lifters were. Some people say the zero ticks from GSC don't really change how it sounds. It is so much quieter. Way less clanky. And I'm wondering if it's because there's always the argument online whether you should bleed out the oil or bleed out the air out of the lifters. GSE and the factory always say to bleed out the air, GSC and Mitsubishi both say bleed out the air, and then some random people online say bleed out the oil and install them with no oil whatsoever. So I'm wondering if the people that install them with no oil are the clinky ones. That's gonna be a wrap for the day, my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want a killer setup, ETS manifold or a full ETS turbo kit, this 68 mil from AGT, very pleased with how it's acting so far. And of course, stay tuned to see how much power Old Girl makes.